Hey, what's going on, Golferos? Welcome back to Salud Golferos, the podcast. It is episode 6, and I'm very, very excited because we got a really cool setup, if you couldn't tell behind me. Sorry for the people that are listening, but go check us out on YouTube. Got two very special guests today. We have Nelson from Tacos at the Turn.
Hey, what's up?
What up, what up? And then we have Luis, a.k.a. Nice Ball Golf.
What's good?
Thanks for joining me today, guys. This is awesome.
Man, thanks for having us, man. It's such an honor. Just want to say I'm so proud of what you guys are doing. Want to give you your flowers, as they say, right?
Oh, man.
You guys do it all. Podcasts, beer, towels, apparel, events. I want to be like you guys when I grow up.
Oh, dang. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Man.
I love this. Typically, I'm on the other side of things, like setting cameras up and microphones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to be on this side, just doing the talking. So
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Dude, no, yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us, Luis, man.
Yeah.
You and I have met recently. We kind of clicked, and I'm just so glad to have you here as well.
I know. I'm really appreciative of these opportunities. Just meeting more people that are into golf, into the creator space, and like actively doing stuff. So just before I say anything, I just want to say I appreciate y'all inviting me on today.
Oh, of course, brother. No, yeah. Appreciate you being here, man. This is going to be a sick
A
episode.
lot of love today, huh?
A lot of love, you know. But honestly,
It's all love.
That's what this podcast is about. And Nelson, you could probably speak to it from just experience being around us. But like, as a brand, we're not just about ourselves. It's about, you know, uplifting la raza, uplifting those who are trying to get into the sport or do something.
Definitely.
We're not just going to be all about ourselves, because that's not the type of people that we are. So
Yeah, and I love that about you guys and the brand, how inclusive you are. Like right away, you guys made me feel like part of the family. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, we went on a road trip really quick. Like, I guess that's what we're going to pick up. So, yeah, Nelson. No, I think we're going to have to backtrack because there's a great highlight of Nelson that we have to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So, for those of you that haven't been following us too long, year one of Los Golferos, we're trying to get our name out there. And so we're like, hey, we need to do a giveaway. We need to like kind of get our towels out there and get people introduced to the brand. So we did a towel giveaway where we're like, hey, show us your crappiest golf towel. And if we think you have the worst towel or the craziest situation, we're going to send you a brand new Sarape golf towel.
Yep.
And Nelson, what did you do?
So I knew what you guys were looking for, right? Show us like your messed up golf towels. They're all crusty and dirty and all that, right? But I'm always about coming like in a different way, like differentiating myself, right? So I wasn't going to do that. So what I did is I kind of picked up on the theme of, you know, the Mexican style sarape, and I went in another direction. I pretended that I was using an old Mexican blanket, the San Marcos blanket, as my golf towel. So I draped it over my bag, and I had it there in my video shot. And I said, hey, Golferos, this is what I use in my golf towel. Hook me up. Like,
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because I think you turned that in like day one. It was like a week-long giveaway. You turned that in day one, and Raul and I just looked at each other like, bro, who is gonna beat this? And like, we saw some crusty towels. We were like, nah, this guy Nelson, like, we think he's got it, man. No, that was awesome, dude. And yeah, since then, like, you just stayed in contact with us, and we in contact with you.
Yep.
Refresh my memory though. Had you already started Tacos at the Turn at that point?
at that point, I think I had the name out there. Mm-hmm. So I had my Instagram account, my personal account, and then I was just posting like golf stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then I came up with the idea of Tacos at the Turn, the name.
Yeah.
So I switched it up to Tacos at the Turn. It was just going to be my golf account. Mm-hmm. And then I came up with a business idea. And, you know, during that time, I started following you guys. So it was all around the same time.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So that's like circa 2019, 2020?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. The name, dude, Tacos at the Turn, obviously for the raza, we're like, yes, man, get rid of the glizzies. Let's get some tacos de asada, adobada, whatever out there. I've had people come up to me and they're like, bro, like, I see you hang out with Tacos at the Turn. Like, where does he sell his tacos? Can you dive into that, bro?
Number
like,
one question ever.
You have to explain the brand. So what is Tacos at the Turn?
Okay, so Tacos at the Turn. So I stopped golfing for a while, for about 5 or 6 years, and I came back during the pandemic. So I like to think of myself as a sort of a pandemic golfer.
Okay.
Right? That's when I came back. And when I came back, golf looked a lot different to me. especially with all the different brands out there. Cooler brands, more diverse, more exciting, just more fun. Bad Birdie, Malbin, Eastside Golf, and then I saw you guys too, and a couple other, Latino brands. So I'm like, I want to be a part of this movement, right? So what can I start? And again, how can I differentiate myself? Yeah. And I wanted to combine two things that I love. So it was golf and tacos, right? So that was the idea. Then I had to come up with the name, and I was there sitting down, writing in my notebook, brainstorming different types of names, right? The first one was golf and tacos. Okay, perfect. I looked it up, and it was taken already. Somebody had trademarked that. Dang. Yeah. It should be mine, but it's okay. I didn't think of it first, so that's my bad. And then a little bit down the list of kind of like trash names was Tacos at the Turn. And as soon as I wrote it down, I'm like, that's it. Yeah. That's the name. So once I did like my due diligence, looked everything up, made sure it was available, I scooped it up, and the rest is history, right? Yeah. But the idea was that it was going to be an apparel brand, kind of pushing, diversity in this new wave of golf, right? The hats, the t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that, just casual golf wear. But then the number one question I get every time I go out, so do you sell tacos? And I'm like, no. Then I have to explain, it's just an apparel company. This is just kind of like the theme. But enough people kept asking me, do you sell tacos? Do you sell tacos? That I knew there was an opportunity there. So I started doing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I want a big thing. I remember you telling me this story after we went to the Genesis, but just a big shout out to you and the due diligence that I think a lot of people don't think about is when you do have a good idea, is looking up that trademark, making sure it's available.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good brands out there that haven't done that and have great names. So you mentioning that just reminded me of that's like a huge key thing to do when starting a business, is just make sure that it's yours,
Definitely, because you don't want to take the time of building this brand and then all of a sudden somebody takes it away from you.
100%.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Bro, we year one, we kind of ran into a small situation like that. Not on the negative side, but actually on the positive side. So to your point, Luis, there was a golf group who came up with the same name as us, but thankfully our CEO Raul, when he came up with the name, he put the Instagram out there right away. He didn't post anything, but he was just like, I just got to have it out there as a timestamp that we've had it.
Yeah.
And then, as you do when you start a business, you got to do the LLC, all that stuff. So, our name is locked in. We got all our paperwork and stuff like that. And that golf group, no shade to them, they just kind of came at us. We're like, hey, I see you started this page and you just started posting. It's like, yeah, we just started posting, but we've had it for a while. We got our paperwork, all our LLC locked in. And so it just ended at that. And I think there's a lot of the flip side, right? Where guys have the great idea and they do all these things to start the brand up. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, somebody already filed that name. And yeah.
But it's real smart. Like you said, it's have that timestamp, regardless of if you're not business savvy, go out there, get the IG, get the website, get everything you can. And then at the very least, you've been in market for so long that if somebody does come along, you can always say, hey, in some whatever PC way you want to do business, but it's hey, we were kind of here first and things like that. But yeah, for Nelson, I was when you told me that name and how you came up with it, I'm like, that's money.
Yeah.
Instantly. Tacos at the Turn, so genius, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, that dude, I know, it's so funny. When I saw that name, I was like, oh bro, that's so true.
I was so surprised that nobody had thought about that before. I mean, I'm sure it was out there, but nobody thought about, trademarking it or making it into a business or anything like that.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking about the name because Luis, you can probably speak to this because we'll talk a little bit about your background now with marketing. But bro, I think you need to come out with tat shirts, tacos at the turn. Is that a thing? Is that
the tat?
At the turn, tat.
Tat.
You know how I use the tat?
Okay, you have used it. Okay, yeah. We need to see some of that. We get some tat shirts.
Well, I don't want to give out too much information.
Yeah, no, don't.
But I hear you, and I use that a lot. I use the T, the @ sign, then TT, and that's tat.
Yeah,
tacos at the turn.
Okay,
I use that a lot. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so
that's
when
the hashtag.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so when those come out, I want one. I want a shirt like that.
Right.
Just rock out tat. People are like, oh, you get tatted? It's like, no, bro. I get tacos at the turn.
Tatted on my stomach.
I'm always tatted up, homie. Yeah.
It's like Thug Life tat right here on my stomach.
Totally put it right here, just over the abdomen. There we go.
Yeah, I like to say the golf and taco. I didn't choose the golf and taco life. It chose me.
There we go. There we go. So no, yeah, we were just touching on right now, though, Luis. Let's talk about you a little bit. So nice ball golf. And you're also rocking Buena Gente. We had a recent move, right? A recent partnership. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So recently, Buena Gente and myself have teamed up, and I am now representing Buena Gente as head of marketing and strategic ops. But to backtrack a little bit, John and I have known each other for probably 5 years. We started working together in the Bay Area at this company called Shopkick, and he was the UX UI designer there, and I was a video producer, and that's kind of where we met. And I remember back then, John always having these great ideas. He had an idea called Mayu Kepchu, which is like a kind of combo, mayonnaise and ketchup as like a sauce, but with a Puerto Rican background.
Okay.
He had this idea of doing this brand called Mayu Kepchu, and that always stayed in my mind. And like the style was very similar. But John was always a creative person. John's actually one of the first people that ever taught me about personas. He's really heavy on like user testing, UX UI design. You've got to know what people kind of want and what works. And he was one of the first people to teach me kind of like about like brand and like personas and like how to market to people.
Yeah.
And so our relationship started then. 5 years go by. I leave the Bay. I come to LA, and I started doing my golf thing, and noticed that he had Buena Gente, and immediately was like, I want to be a part of this. This was like a year ago, right?
Right.
And so I had always been chatting with him about it, repping it. And throughout the year, becoming a brand ambassador for them and just getting a little bit more into it allowed me to kind of like, flourish with that relationship with him. And then just having ideas. And it wasn't until recently where we got together and decided to kind of make it more official. Because there's a lot of potential. John's done a lot of great stuff with the brand, and
he really has, dude. He really has.
Love that brand.
And pretty much what I'm going to do, I'm like the seasoning that you're going to add to this. It's
I like that.
John is the
El sazón.
Buena Gente. And
Tajin.
The tajin, the Mayu Kepchu.
There we go. Circle it back.
Right? But it's like what I'm here to do is just pretty much put more purpose to the action, right?
Yeah.
We have drops, how to properly market it, getting together with people like you guys, talking to los golferos, and just like building a community so we get that name out there in the right way, right? Not just like kind of just do it on IG, but do it on a deeper level.
Right.
And that's really like what I'm here to do with John, and kind of how our relationship started. At the end of the day, John's an artist. You can see
he really is, bro,
and what he does. And so I just want to be there to like support on like the business end of things. Like I'm not there to be like, yo, you need to do this and you need to do this design. He's got that. The amount of designs that I've seen where he'll just pull out in a meeting, like, oh, what do you think about this? I'm like, what? That's gonna sell out. We'll get that out. So he's got plenty of that, and like I said, I'm here to just make sure that we're driving in cool directions.
Yeah. No, I totally hear that, because so shout out to the homies Safe Par. They have their podcast, and John was on there, and I was listening into that episode. And John reminds me a lot of Don from Kingsman, where they're just two creators where just like the ideas just don't stop spewing out of their mind. And it's just insane. And I've actually talked to Don about this, which shout out Kingsman. We'll have them on the pod soon. Those type of creators, they create with purpose. They have the story. Why did I do this? Like, look at the shirt you're rocking right now, right? The golf, the can of beans, la lata de frijoles. Like, how many of us Latinos have not like come home from school and mom's cracking one open to quickly make dinner because she just got out of work, right?
Yep.
So, and like that little thought right there, that's a story.
100%.
That's a story, and it's like that's what I do love about John's work with Buena Gente and all that stuff. And that definitely came across in his episode of the podcast, where he's just like, I got to have that story. I got to have that thought process behind it. But now circling back to your point, you have someone that's so creative. There's no possible way they can capture everything. And so, like you said, you're the seasoning that comes on top, because now you're going to spearhead it in that direction.
And that came out in that interview too. Like, I don't want to say that he's not good at that, but he's not really focused on that. That's something that you can focus on,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the value that you can bring to the brand.
And he shouldn't really be focused on it if you think about it, because like you're going to hinder his thought process, his creative process. So
And that's what I told him. It's like, that's what he's here for, the brand. He is the brand. Buena Gente is John. And his job is to go out and create design and like have that ability, but also be the face of the brand. People love Buena Gente because they also love John.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like Buena Gente, who's John? So I want to make sure that like he has that artistic ability to continue doing that. I'll handle the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm a marketer. I'm both performance and brand, and my day job is that. It's dealing with people. It's dealing with partnerships. It's dealing with, hey, I want to do this marketing opportunity. For me, that's what gets me going, as well as being a creator. But when I see an opportunity for somebody to flourish and me be able to assist, I think that's the relationship that's gonna work. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a big word right there, partnership, right? Like you can't do it on your own. You can't do it. So like we talk about John can't do it on his own. Buena Gente, yes, they could do it on their own, but with partnerships, with growth, growing the community, that's how everyone, comes up and you basically uplift the golf community. So 100% true. Yeah.
And that's what I love about our community, like Los Golferos, Tacos at the Turn, Raza Golf. Like we've always like helped each other out, right?
Yeah.
Try to push each other up. There's a collaboration over competition. Nobody's saying like, I got to get mine before I help you,
Right.
So that's what I love about this little community that we have going.
Yeah. And I would say that's recent in the last generation or so, because Raul always likes to quote, who's a Mexican's worst enemy? Another Mexican. That's honestly how it used to be back then, which is really weird. It's such a weird conflicting thought, because when you're in a Mexican family, everyone's like, we got to help each other, right? But then outside of that unit, it's like, nah, forget that family over there. Like, we're not going to help each other. But I think we've changed that, at least in the golf space. I've seen that, to your point,
I think because the struggle has been so hard that you kind of had to worry about your own. Yes, you care about your family, but outside of that, you can't. Because the struggle was so hard,
Yeah.
But now that's changing, we've established ourselves, and now we're making changes.
Exactly.
It's strength in numbers, in like a very positive way, right? It's like getting together, and like you said, I love what you just said, collaboration over competition.
Yeah.
Because like that's how you can truly grow. It's like not competing against each other, but working together somehow, and like finding that common ground, especially within golf, being a creator, business, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
Really, it's just like relationships. I hate to bring it back to that, but it's like, how much do I like you and trust you enough to like let you into my personal space, right? And if that's down, then the business is easy.
Yeah.
Right? But without that, the business is just gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. They're kind of shady, But doing this kind of stuff and getting together is like no brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And it's kind of funny because, so Nelson, I'm gonna give you some shine here. Honestly, you're probably a big part of why this podcast has happened, and I don't even think you know why. It's really funny. So, as some people know, my history within the Golferos brand is I was going to go on the social media space, podcast space on my own, but then my cousin Sergio were like, hey, we're doing this on the side, like, come do it for this. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. I get to work with family and I like what they're doing. So I kind of got away from my podcast dreams, I guess you could say. And then we meet Nelson, and we're collaborating, we're hanging out, we're partnering and all, doing all this stuff. And kind of like what Nelson was saying is that, we got to lift each other up, help each other out. He tells us, hey, I'm about to be on this podcast, Save Par. Do you want me to introduce you to the guys and, get you on an episode? And me, it being my dream to be on a podcast, I was like, bro, yes, let's do it. Come on, I'm on.
And Save Par is dope.
And Save Par is dope.
Shout out Save Par.
Couple great guys. Yeah. Yes. And so we get on there. I get the bug again. And I'm telling Raul, I was like, hey, like I told you, like one of my goals is to get into podcasting because we have great stories, great people that we need to help, get that shine out there. So then, I got the bug again. And that's kind of where like, hey, year 3 of Los Golferos, we're going to start it. Year 4 is now we're actually doing it. So big shout out to you, bro. Like
that's so cool to hear.
You helped us swing back into it. So
you're like
that's
that
great,
though, man. Like I've been knowing you for maybe like, I don't know, maybe 6 months, half a year, like where we've actually started like, getting together. And bro, you are the connector. Just being.
I
like,
love being a connector.
That's a great asset.
You have like the connections, not just business but people. Like at the Genesis, we pulled up. Hey, thank you for inviting me. Like that's a big ticket to like give to somebody.
Yeah.
But B, we get there. He's like, oh, I'm meeting with LA Golf. Oh, I'm gonna meet with Gamas and Compas, right? Oh, I'm gonna meet with this guy, and I'm like, I love that, bro. You are that guy, and like just everybody, excuse my language, fucks with you, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I love being a connector, and sometimes I'm able to do more for other people than I can do for myself. It's like a different feeling and a different focus.
But the karma will come back, though. That's the thing.
But the thing is, I do it without expecting a reward.
As you should.
I do it just to do it.
As anyone should, right?
Like when I wanted to introduce you to Save Par to get you on the podcast, it was just like to hook you up. Like I didn't expect anything. And sometimes I do things and like I probably never know what the outcome was. Like I didn't know about that until now, right? You just told me.
Yeah.
But you just do it, just to be a good person and help other people.
That's growing the game.
Yeah.
Literally.
Growing the game.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason I'm here. I pulled up to Hanson Dam the other day, and I don't know what, it was like 10 o'clock or something, and all of a sudden I saw Junior. And I was like, if I see Junior, I'm like, Nelson's around. And then I see Nelson pulling up, and he's like, yeah, we just finished the early round. He's like, I fell over. It's kind of wet. I'm like, oh. And then he just runs up. He's like, you want me on a podcast in a couple weeks? I was like,
oh, dude, I love that.
I love that. So I was like, so happy I saw you that day.
That's crazy. Dude, so literally, like, you didn't text him or anything? It was just, you saw him at Hanson Dam and was like, let's go?
Well, no, we just ran into each other. Like,
that's dope.
It was like just by chance, right? Like we happened to be leaving the course. He was pulling up into the parking lot and he saw us. Like it was by chance. And then, I'm gonna be on the podcast. You want to come and hang out? Like, yeah, why not, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
And in the small time or experience that I have had working with you, I've learned to be like, yes. If Nelson's
just say yes.
Just say yes, because whatever it is, we pull up. He's like, oh, there's 4 people here I want you to meet. I'm like, amazing.
Yeah. That's dope, dude.
That's another thing, like, and you have to kind of be careful with this, but always say yes, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
¿Qué te cuesta? Like, no cuesta nada to say yes. Like, just say yes. Like, just you show up. If it's a bad experience, it's a bad experience. Who cares? But there's a lot more good that's going to come out of always just saying yes. Sometimes, you have to be a little bit more selective, but you'll know. But for the most part, saying yes, that can lead to a lot of different things.
Showing up.
Yeah, 100%. And it lets you figure out who people really are, because like, let's say you run into someone and you're like, dude, I'm not really feeling their vibe. Like, and a lot of people are great at the vibe check. Initial vibe. All right, cool. Like, I'm not going to fuck with them. But if you say yes, maybe they invite you out to a round or something, right? And you're like, all right, cool. Let me roll. Let me see what's going on. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get it. You're just an introvert. So you come off a little weird. But now once I'm hanging out with you, you're dope. Yeah. So de que te cuesta, right? Like you got to get to know someone. And I think that's a big lesson for people to take, is like, yes, say yes.
Yeah.
Actually get to meet someone, actually get to know them, then make your decision. Like you said, the partnerships, figuring out who people are. And then, like you said, sometimes you don't know what's going to come out of a situation. You maybe help someone and you don't know what came out of that, and then it comes back full circle. But like, hey Nelson, remember that one time you hooked me with this guy? Well, we went down this rabbit hole. Now we want to bring you back into something. And you never want to, like you said, expect anything out of it, but you throw enough good seeds out there, maybe something will grow, right?
So true.
Big time. That's the whole thing. It's like, just show up. That's my biggest thing in life in general, whether it's like doing chores or golfing or business. Just show up. It's like literally 80 to 90% of it. The next 10% is like, okay, you're here in the room now. What do you do, right?
Yeah.
As long as you show up, like, things are gonna happen for you.
Yeah. That's like when I started talking about the turn. Like, I've had a bunch of business ideas in the past. I just kept thinking about it over and over, and then nothing happened, right? And with this one, I'm like, just start doing. Just jump in and do. Like, don't think about it too much. Just do. Like I said, just show up. Just do. And just and things will go from there. I don't even have a business plan. I just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. And look where it's gotten us. Like, I didn't say it earlier, but big shout out to Brian and Uneekor. Guys, if
Yeah.
you didn't see our background here and everything, once again, for the people watching the episode on YouTube, we're in probably one of the nicest simulator rooms that I've ever seen in my life.
So
and luckily, we're going to be able to hit on this after this episode. So, yeah, be jealous. No, I'm just kidding.
It really is, man. This is like a whole experience. Like, this is so clean.
Yeah.
It's like a whole office out there. Like, this is a whole ass
We're at a
This
business.
is
yeah.
this is the Uneekor headquarters here in Irvine.
Yeah.
With this dope simulator, there's a bunch of employees working right now.
Yeah.
The offices were all named after what, like different golf terms.
Yeah, there was an
Albatross,
albatross.
Eagles, bunker.
I'd be a little sad if
probably
I got
put me
a
in that
job
one.
here and then it's like, oh, cool, where's my office? You're in the bunker room?
You're in OB.
I just stay in the bunker, I guess. I'm just always in the bunker. Yeah.
You're the water.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I'd
Yeah.
be in a breakfast ball or mulligan.
There you
office.
go.
Oh, dude, there was a Mulligan office. I saw it. Yeah, there was a Mulligan office. No,
But yeah, thanks to Brian, Uneekor, and Brian also the owner of Birdie Corn, the divot tool.
Yeah.
Number one divot tool in the game. Go check
Oh, there we
him out.
go. Shout out. Yeah.
It's sick.
And this is literally all spawned from just saying yes to like me saying yes to Raul. Let's go ahead and do this business. You having that courage to post yourself on there with your San Marcos cobija and stuff like that. And it just kind of spirals in a great way to like, you know, do great things. And dude, it's funny because you and I've messaged in the past. So I'm the one that runs the Instagram for Los Golferos. And we were like, hey, let's get out there. Hey, let's like try to link up. You know, we've shot a couple messages to each other. But as you know, it's just life happens and you're doing other things.
Yeah.
And serendipity, man.
Yeah.
Look, now we're doing a podcast together. First interaction and we're on a podcast together.
I think the first time I like physically met you was at the Ace tournament.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You brought me out too.
Yeah.
Again, another connector piece here.
Yep.
And I remember you didn't know who I was or anything, but I knew who you were because of the towels.
Awesome.
Golferos towels. And I walked up to you, had a little booth or like a little table. And I
Yeah.
was like, yo, Los Golferos, I love your IG and the towels. And you were like,
They're flying off.
this guy? And then
Flying
I was
out
like,
in the
I
wind,
gotta
right?
go.
Yeah. The wind freaking blowing everything away.
But it was like a moment for me to like meet the community. It's almost like celebrity moments, right? Where it's just like I see you doing your thing out in IG, and I'm like, I respect that, I like that. And seeing you IRL, I'm like, yo, that's Los Golferos sick. Yo, that's Machete over there. Yo, this is Nelson from Tacos.
Yeah.
It's always fun, man.
Yeah. No, that's so dope. That's so funny that was okay. Yeah, I remember that now. And that freaking wind.
Dude.
That was crazy.
I was dry for like the next week. My lips were chapped and I was just like that
Oh,
wind.
me too.
Dude, I was done.
Oh my gosh. I just posted a video the other day. I'm like, what's the worst weather you've ever played in? And it was a clip from that day.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah.
I was just standing there and it's just like wind and my
You were about
shirt's
to
going-
blow away.
Yeah, I was like, that day was ridiculous.
It was
for wind.
ridiculous. And that was our inaugural Ace tournament in that crazy wind. But it was a great time.
It was a great,
It was a great
time.
turnout. It was a huge success. But you know, hopefully this next time around there's better weather.
Just the wind. I can play any, like even playing in the rain is cool, but like the wind is just something else. And it's just by like 4 or 5 holes in, my eyes are bloodshot. Like,
Oh,
I've been
dude.
smoking all day, but I'm like, I haven't smoked nothing. And I look at my eyes, I'm like, oh my god. So hopefully no wind.
Yeah. Somebody
Yeah.
still managed to get like minus 18 though. I don't know about that.
I know, I saw that.
Bro. So that's always like the thing.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode talking about charity scramble tournaments, man. That's freaking crazy. But no, that actually kind of segues nicely to something we were talking about before we started recording, right? The state of golf. And specifically, I want to talk about LA Golf because you got the LA Golf Club t-shirt on. We'll dive into the club itself, but we were talking about what Dave Fink is doing right now with the whole, what is it, save the tee, free the tee,
Free
time?
the tee.
Hashtag free the tea.
Hashtag free the tee. Are you guys like just mind blown by that whole background situation that's going on? Like, Luis, explain to the
crazy.
people what's going on. For those that aren't in SoCal, what's the whole situation?
So, LA City Golf tee times have been pretty much impossible to get, right? I've
Yep.
lived in LA for about 3-4 years now. And ever since I've been here, trying to get a tee time at places like Griffith Park, Rancho, Encino Balboa,
Anywhere.
at a decent time
Yeah.
are impossible. Which the benefit to that was it made me grind more because I'd go by myself.
Yeah.
It's literally going by yourself and getting on a wait list would be the only way to get on. But ever since I've been here, it's been impossible. And it wasn't until recently that Dave Fink pretty much, I think what happened was one of his homies stayed at Griffith Park all day and just asked everybody, hey, how are you getting this tea time? How are you getting this tea time? And finally somebody broke and was like, there's a broker that I got this from.
Bro.
And so Dave went on his IG stories and was like, guys, this is happening. And just pretty much uncovered it. And in the past, I do remember something being sent to us over email from LA City Golf about a hacker who's using some sort of code to get the tee times.
Because I heard it was bots originally.
Yeah,
Right?
everybody thought it was bots.
Yeah, everyone thought it was bots.
I was gonna get one myself. I was gonna purchase a bot.
Yeah. And I remember that
Freaking
letter-
R2D2. Hey, go book me a tea time.
I remember that letter going out, and it now that Dave's uncovered it, what seems to be happening is that there's brokers using senior cards, booking them 10 days in advance rather than 7 like the general public.
Yeah.
And pretty much getting up at that time, 10 days in advance, taking all the tee times, booking them, and then reselling them for more money.
Bro.
Which is just wild. And again, we've always heard the rumors.
Yeah.
But to find out that that was actually happening to public courses in LA, literally the emoji of my mind being blown.
Yeah. That's insane, dude. And so at the time of recording this podcast, you were telling me earlier that Dave's actually meeting with the city right now, or there's a public forum for it going on.
Yep. So today in Burbank, Dave Fink will be meeting with LA City Golf to pretty much officially talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it all started on like an IG post of him just kind of being like, yo, this is going down. Dude, it was on the news the other day.
I saw that. That was
The
crazy.
news, I
It
think
blew
was
up, man.
ABC pulled up to Griffith
Yeah.
Park and did an entire piece on it. And then I think the LA Times released something, but
Yeah.
there's no hiding now.
Yeah. No, it's out
There's-
there. Yeah.
there need-
Oh, and now they have to fix it.
Yeah.
Now they have to fix it.
need
Bro,
answers.
we're gonna have to go freaking analog, where you gotta call in and be like, "Yo, my name is Ralph. Here's my ID." Like,
first come, first serve. Just,
Yeah.
just you know. But I'm interested. Honestly, at the end of the day, he's uncovered something for everybody. These are public courses. These aren't private courses.
Yeah.
If you want to do this, go to a private course where you can have your tee time. But you're messing with the public tee times.
You're
Tax
stealing from the
dollars.
people.
exactly.
Tax dollars
Yeah.
that go into public services, parks, like, and you're pretty much hogging the tee times. Like, you know, what's happening today is going to pretty much change LA golf
Yeah.
for the good, I think.
And it's crazy too, because like people don't realize it's a trickle effect, right? Because okay, supply and demand. Let's go business talk here, right? We got lower supply, higher demand. Prices are going to go up, and I've noticed that throughout Southern California. I know it's a big issue in the LA area, but more golfers. Well, see, that's what we also got to figure out, is that more golfers are just these brokers, but brokers are taking up these tee times. Hanson Dam, which I think was a $40 course, now you're paying $75 to go pay it because the supply is low. So to your point, you're taking away from the community, and as we've talked about in the past, the kids, you're trying to get a kid out there to go play these courses, and they can't because the parents can't afford a $75, $80 tee time for a
That's
kid.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like how is, like, to that point, how is the youth supposed to practice, especially in a game that's traditionally super expensive to get into, right? Like, how are you giving anybody an opportunity to play golf that could potentially be your next Tiger or your next pro or your next whoever? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of my biggest thing about it. It's just not fair, At the end of the day, I'd love to just be like, you know what? Guess what? I have the broker's numbers now. Let's just call them and get tee times. But,
right.
That's
Then
just
you're
gonna-
feeding into
you're
it.
just feeding
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
creating more of the problem. So it's like, regardless of whoever has access to it, it just needs to be. It needs to be public. If you get up and grind and get up at 6 a.m. 7 days in advance to get a tee time, and the other people don't, well, guess what? You put in the work to get the tee time. It's pretty simple, right?
Right.
So, let that happen, I think.
And that is the worst feeling, because I've gotten up, I set my alarm for 5:59 so I can be ready at 6. I go in there, there's no tee times. None. That's why I always play the early morning back 9. That's the only tee time available.
Yeah, it's the only thing available.
Yeah.
Shout out Surreal Golf, the homie. he just did a video about that exact same thing before Dave uncovered it. It was him waking up at 6 a.m. to get a tea time for an LA City course and going through his phone. It said, there's nothing available.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you were onto something.
Yeah.
Surreal is blowing up, man. Shout out to him. Yeah, he's so cool and funny. Like,
So funny, dude. He nails the comedy bit just enough. You saw the one where he's looking at his younger self.
yeah,
Through the window.
He's like, no.
Oh, is that the basketball one?
Ghost, the
Oh,
ghost, the ghost
dude,
of
yo,
golf pass.
I love that video.
That's surreal. That's
He's like
surreal.
trying to hoop. He's like,
He's like watching yourself like not get into the golf like you should have, and he's
Yeah.
like playing basketball. He's like, no,
no, go
Oh.
get into golf.
No, this dude should be like writing for like SNL or something, dude. He's got like that type of brain.
Yeah.
That type
Bro.
of comedy.
He's good with it. Big
Hey man,
time.
let's get him on the podcast. Surreal.
Surreal. I
Surreal?
think he's got family in LA. 'Cause
Okay.
I've seen him post at Woodley
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
Okay.
I think he stays in San Diego.
Have you talked to him yet?
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
you're an
he
SD.
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'll connect you.
Okay, yeah. The connector. The connector. Dude, yeah. No, and that's beautiful, man. Thank you. Yeah, let's connect with Surreal, especially that dude, that's my goal for this year is really grow the community more out in San Diego. So I don't know if you guys saw on IG this past Saturday, we had our first Los Golferos
Yeah,
League
saw
event,
that.
which you guys are welcome to at any time. It's that, and that's the thing. It's totally open. Like we call it a league because we do track points, but it's like you could go MIA for 4 months, come back, and it's like, hey, you're still in the league. You could still earn points. There's all these different ways to be in contention. But yeah, that's my big goal is down in San Diego. There's still a lot of raza out there that just like, oh wait, this is here. There's a community of golferos that I can be a part of. So yeah, Surreal. Let's get together, bro, and let's grow the game down there.
funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
I saw. Speaking of San Diego, just to flip it back to you, you played the GOAT recently.
I love the GOAT. I'm always at the
Dude,
GOAT. I
that-
might be at the GOAT tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, I played that course one time, and my buddy booked us like a 7 a.m. crazy early tea time, and I was like, I need
Yeah.
redemption. I need to get back there at like a nice.
Is your buddy from down there?
Yeah, he lives in.
What a dick.
lives in
7 a.m. at the GOAT.
Dude, it was so frosty and so cold, and he was about to say, "Hey, let's walk."
No.
And I was like, "Sure, yeah, I love.
No.
I always walk. I get to the GOAT, I'm like, we're not walking this."
There's a
Like,
reason it's called Goat Hill Park.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you really trying to just? Do you hate us? Like, why?" And no, we ended up getting carts. But I fell in love with that course.
Dude.
That course.
So
was
it's really
sick.
hilly, right? Hilly and
It's literally
difficult.
built into the hills of Oceanside. So, as the city name implies, it's by the ocean. Like you can literally look out, see the beach and everything. It's probably one of the best hidden gems of North County, San Diego that there is. And it's funny, I call it a hidden gem, but Xander Schauffele plays there.
Yeah.
Bubba Watson plays there.
Kelly Slater.
Slater, Freddie Couples. So all these big names go and play that course.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it just continues to be low key, which, by the way, if you're listening to this, please don't share this. Like, keep people away from
Can
Goat
you get
Hill.
a tea time?
I can get a tea time. Yeah.
Free the tea at the GOAT.
Free the tea at the GOAT. But yeah, no, I'm glad that you came down and played the GOAT. It's
it's
a
so
vibe,
good.
bro.
It is.
It's a vibe.
Greens are small, tight, but they're clean. They're fast. Fairways are fun. It's just.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
it's-
brother.
it's-
Hey,
Shout out
Sorry,
Brian.
let's
Brian's
get
over
him in
here
here real quick.
hosting us, and then he's just bringing
Brian,
beers.
come on, don't be shy. Get in here real quick. He just brought me a beer.
Yeah, he just brought over
Brian,
beers.
switch with me because I have to use the restroom. Come in here and say what's up.
Too much liquid death.
Too much
We're gonna sub out.
I
out.
had like 5 soda waters this morning.
Yeah.
Podcast ever.
Let's go.
Let's go.
BRB.
What's up, guys?
Brian, my man.
Out in the lobby. All right, guys. So we just did a little
Switcheroo.
quick substitute here. We got Brian from Uneekor. But yeah, we were just talking about Go Hill, and that track is freaking amazing. But switching gears, Brian, thank you so much for having us out here. We just gave you a shout out. He was outside of the room, but your guys' setup here is freaking
It's
awesome.
so dope, man.
Like,
It's made for you guys.
made for the golfers, right?
It was intentionally built to get, ambassadors, influencers, kind of people like yourselves.
Oh, really?
oh wow, and here we
dang.
are.
Here we are. Are we the first ones, or you got others in here?
This is our first podcast.
First podcast. Hey,
Nice.
Shout out Uneekor. First podcast here.
Hey,
Salud,
salud.
golferos. Let's drink to that. Boop. Yeah, he's on the job, so he can't. So Brian, tell us a little bit about Uneekor. So obviously we have the simulator technology behind us, things like that. But can you give us a little history lesson on the brand?
Yeah, so we started in Korea about 15 years ago. So we've
Okay.
been around for a while. In Korea, it's actually branded as QED.
Okay.
And over there, the business model is a little bit different. Where, like, if you want to golf, first of all, it's really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really accessible over there for kind of like the common man.
Yeah.
So what you'll see over there is like in the city, screen golf. Right?
That's
Yeah.
what I heard. Yeah.
Similar to this. So I mean, if you walk in there, it's kind of like a bowling alley where it's like
Bay after bay after
you're
bay.
from LA here. You're from LA. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you go to K-Town, there's a place called City Golf.
Mhm.
But you walk in there, there's like bay, like 15 of them just in a row,
Mhm.
like a bowling alley, and then it's packed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People are just hitting balls, and that's kind of like for a country that's as addicted to golf as they are. That's kind of the only golf fix that they could get.
And that's kind of throughout Asia, right? Or am I wrong?
I think so, and honestly, like I think America's the only market where like regular people can go golf, and then
Mhm.
I know you guys were kind of talking about like free the tee and stuff, which makes it suck because like as the game is growing, it's also getting more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I mean, so back to Uneekor, like we understand that you know a setup like this, not a, like I don't think anybody in our office can necessarily afford something like this. But I mean, I'll show you guys a little bit later. But you know, we make a launch monitor for pretty much like every. We make it accessible for like
Yeah.
most golfers. So you know, we have this one which is 13,000 down to kind of like a ground unit that's not portable, but that one's 2,750.
Okay.
And the aim there is to just make golf accessible for everyone, so that they can enjoy the game that we all love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then on top,
And you
of
can
that,
hook us up with a discount, right?
Huh?
Oh, he didn't hear me.
Yeah.
in fact, I can.
Oh,
There you go.
hey, There we go.
Yeah. So we can talk about that after the.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so our technology, you know, like we have all the engineers in house, so we're able to keep our costs like extremely low. So I think it's kind of a feedback or downstream effect where some of these commercial places you're gonna see them popping up a lot more. Even in,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a little bit different. Like in the Midwest, it freezes over, so like they have no access.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you're gonna see screen golf or simulator golf is a lot more popular over there.
Yeah.
But even in Irvine, SoCal, we're all from here. You're gonna start seeing these businesses pop up, and so it's, for like a beginner golfer, like kind of getting into the game, you pay $50 for
Mhm.
an hour. You bring your boys, like just get it for $100, 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
And then you could play we have our software. There's third-party software where you could go play Augusta. You could play Pebble Beach.
I need to play Augusta. Can we get Augusta on here, Brian?
We'll get you set up.
We got to
Okay, we're
decide
gonna
on the
play.
course.
We're gonna play Augusta.
We have to
today.
decide on the course we're gonna play.
Bro, the Masters is coming up. We gotta play
we'll
that.
get you set up on,
Okay.
you guys were talking about Goat Hill, but we have Rams Hill scanned into our software.
Oh yes.
So you could try that. I have to make you try that.
Yes,
You guys
I'm
are in
down.
office, but-
Yeah. Let's do
But
it.
after that, maybe do like a little 3-hole match, and then I'll get you set up on. It's in GS Pro, but it's called. They can't call it Augusta, or they're gonna get their asses sued off.
Yeah.
It's called Georgia Country Club.
Okay.
Georgia
yeah,
Country Club. All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
last week we had TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah.
The
17th green.
TPC Sawgrass.
Oh, okay.
Sawed grass.
So I mean, it's cool because like people are obsessed with golf, and
Mhm.
GS Pro, and there's some other softwares out there where. Were you guys gamers growing up?
Yeah.
So like, remember StarCraft, Warcraft, games like that, where
Yeah.
people
Yep.
build their own maps.
Right.
Mhm.
Golfers can build their own courses.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So
Wow.
these
PGA
people
Tour, EA, it's coming to the simulator. Okay.
People are crazy. Like,
Yeah.
they could build in Augusta from memory because they've watched the Masters for like growing up for
Oh, wow.
15 years, and they know exactly what Amen Corner looks like.
Mhm.
And so, if I'll show you later, but there's like 15 different versions of Augusta.
Of
Oh,
Augusta
okay.
on there. Dang.
That's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
insane.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So about 5 years ago, Uneekor established itself in the States,
Mm-hmm.
rebranded, and then yeah, we're just kind of for the past 5 years just building awareness.
Yeah.
Getting our product out there, showing people that it doesn't have to be a TrackMan or a Foresight.
Mhm.
Like, there's other stuff out there that's just as good, if not better,
Right.
at a much more accessible price.
So I know you talked about that there's a range of technology that you guys can provide. Being 5 years on this side in the States, what's been your guys' kind of approach? Are you looking more to helping open more golf simulator rooms, or kind of that lower price point, getting more individual home
homes.
setups?
Yeah.
I'd say we're trying to provide something for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have infinite money and you want to get a setup like this, that's
Whew.
possible. If you kind of like myself, I have a garage, you know, not much room with kids and all that. So like, you can put one of those iMini lights on the ground. You put up a net and then put it on a computer, and you can play simulated golf right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's something for everybody.
Okay.
And then on the software side, I think what's going to be really cool, you guys will see here in the next, few minutes, but then other people in the next couple months, we have a thing called AI Swing Trainer, where, like if you look back there, we have a camera that's face on and down the line. You take a swing on the range, it instantly captures your swing, breaks it up into 8 swing positions, and does like a super quick analysis, but...
Oh, yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you,
Well, everyone, yeah.
Yep, it's going to tell you exactly what you did wrong, and not just that, it's going to kind of provide like a solution to work on so that you can fix
That's
it.
dope.
Whoa.
And
So that's how they're saying AI is taking jobs away from people.
that's
No more
what-
golf pros, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to get to. So like, you know, there's a false belief that it's going to replace golf coaches, right?
Yeah.
That's not true because, for kind of like an average golfer, you could sit there and watch Instagram videos and that gives you
Yeah.
good advice as well, right?
Yeah.
What it's going to do for a coach that has access to a system like this is, you know, he has his experience in playing knowledge, that technology provides input as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the job of the coach then is to kind of take that, distill it, and then make sure that his student understands it.
Right.
It's going to be a
So,
tool for them.
Yeah,
Enhance
so
their job.
If anything, yeah, it makes that 1 hour, 30-minute lesson you're paying for that much more effective. For your
Yeah. You're getting all that instant feedback, the data.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm curious to see how. I haven't seen you guys ever swing a club. But like, for me,
Lucky you.
Avert your eyes.
no, trust me, I've seen some bad swings. Like if I take you to the other room, there's like holes in the ceiling.
Oh, shoot.
I've seen some things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like, you guys should try it because you probably know your swing. You know your swing, so it's gonna point out what it thinks is wrong, and then you'd be surprised. Like,
Okay.
So-
I'm
Can't
excited
wait.
for that. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I just got my first swing lesson like a couple weeks ago, and it's been helping. And it's really funny because, like you said, you can watch the videos, you can do all this stuff, but nothing's gonna be better than a person actually saying like, "Hey, you think you're doing this, but actually you're doing this." So, yeah, there's always gonna be a need for the human element, but
yeah, for sure. And that's like you see on Instagram. Going back to Instagram again, but like feel versus real,
Mhm.
right? And then so, you know, you've all had the buddy where they're like, "Hey, I've been working on my swing.
I figured it out.
I look like Tiger now, right?" It's like, "Nah, bro, you look exactly the same. Like your swing is still trash." And so here we have the swing cameras where, you know, it gives you instant replay
Yeah.
on all your swings, and then also I'll show you here. Like one of the things that sets us apart. Oh, sorry. One of the things that sets us apart is we have a feature called Club Optics.
Mm-hmm.
And so it shows, like you can see right there, it shows you exactly what the club is doing at impact.
Oh, dang.
Instead of just a visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember that one? I was trying to get the screen set up, so I tried to hit one and I chunked it.
Yeah.
So right there it's telling you, or showing you in actual video that
Oh,
the chunk
yeah.
is hitting like way up on the club face.
Dude, that is sick.
So that feedback with the instant swing replay feedback helps your game tremendously. Like we have some new employees here that have been with the company for like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. They're scratch
Shout out
golfers now.
Raul. No. No, but I've seen him go from like a 110 to like, you know, scaring 90 in a matter
Whoa.
of like 2
Okay.
or 3 months. Yeah.
That's insane.
And is that technology available on the lower priced?
Yeah, so that's the good thing about ours is so I can kind of run through it, but every single one of our launch monitors, we have 5 of them, is compatible with all of the software.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
it's
cool.
almost like based on your home design and like space available
Yeah.
to make it, and your budget obviously to make a decision. But yeah, and then so you know, if you want to go, I don't know, if you have a lot of people coming over and you have lefties and righties coming in, especially for a commercial spot,
Right.
then that's when you want to go with the overhead because then, you guys have all been to Rotterdam. Like, if
Got to
you want
move it
people-
around and
You got to move it, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets, what's it called? The calibration gets messed up. and stuff like that. So with this, it's like
so I'm not
super
hitting
seamless.
300 yards with the driver. No.
Like I said, I haven't seen your swing. But what I will say is, I don't swing hard. I'm probably like 100 mile per hour club speed. But if you hit it at the right launch angle with the right spin, and you know, no wind, tailwind like that, you can hit it 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about compression and contact, right?
Yeah, and then that's where you look at the data, and if you're spinning the ball too much, then something's wrong with your contact, right?
Yeah. I think that's my problem right now. I'm spinning the ball like way too much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of athletes, like, they have 330 in their body somewhere.
Yeah.
But they just have to figure out the right techniques and drills to get an optimized shot.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned him. There's a baseball dude I play with. He could swing the club like 130 miles per hour. If you optimize that thing's flying like 350. Yeah, but he swings it at probably 2 to 3 times more than he should be.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's no roll when it hits the ground.
Mhm.
And also it balloons, and so it's not getting the maximum carry. And it looks like it's going far because it stays in there forever.
Yeah.
But,
But just spinning up there and just.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what I feel like right now. My ball, like, so you've played with me before.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen that I can smack it. And, like, all of a sudden, I don't know what I did. I changed my swing. And now my ball just hovers. Like,
It's crazy.
I don't have the distance anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out. We'll use the AI,
I'm so excited.
I'm not a coach, but
No,
I've
yeah.
seen enough swings and data where I can try to help you out.
Okay, cool.
Free lesson.
Free lesson. Yeah, let's go. Help me be a better golfer, please. I'm spending too much money out there. No, I was kidding.
But dude, that was kind of fun actually. So thanks for having me on.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell that again.
That's the greatest podcast commercial of all time, guys. That we just had. We had the company itself right here to talk about their
I wish
stuff.
we had, one of
And
our
for only
hires.
$39.99 a month, you too can call in now.
Everyone knows this.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Brian. Thanks for hopping on for a little bit here.
Yes, sir. I'll be right back there if you have any questions.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Luis back on here.
Tag me back in.
Tag.
That's the new sponsor spot. You should do on your podcast called Bathroom Break.
Oh, there we go, dude. There we go. Bathroom break.
Someone
Bring
goes
him
to the
in.
bathroom, you bring in the sponsor, tell you a little bit about themselves.
That
Yeah.
works.
Let's go. That's what's up. Right on. Well, we were talking about goat here a little while ago, but I want to circle back because I mentioned your shirt and I want to talk about your shirt, especially because we were talking about Augusta. We were talking about the Masters. Beer Augusta's coming up over at Dogleg and
Saw
Vista.
that. That's dope.
LA Golf Club's going to be down there.
24 more days till the Masters.
The weekend of April
It's
13th.
coming.
Yeah. So it's coming. Ooh. So can you explain to me, because obviously I spent a lot of time in LA, but I still live in San Diego, so I don't know a lot about LA Golf Club, and I'm going to be meeting them here soon. What can you tell the people about LA Golf Club?
All right. So first of all, there's TGL, the golf league, which was set up by Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. It's like this next step in golf, right? They're going to infuse technology into it. So they're building a stadium where people can sit around and watch the golfers. They're going to tee off into a giant simulator, but all the short stuff, like the bunkers, the greens, are going to be real.
Okay.
So you're going to be watching all the players here, right, in a stadium atmosphere. There's 6 teams around the United States, and one of them is Los Angeles Golf Club. So when I first heard about LAGC, I'm like, golf in LA? Like, LA has a golf team? Like, I'm
Yeah.
in. Like, I'm all in, right?
That's sick.
So I started following them, started interacting with them, messaging them. They're really good about reaching out and taking feedback from the community.
That's
right?
good.
And they hear it and they put it into practice. So I started talking to them. And then finally they reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you come and do tacos at some of our events?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tacos at the turn.
Tacos at the turn with LAGC. I mean, yeah. I mean, what says? Okay, so one of the things that I said to them is that make sure if you're going to be in LA, make sure that you reach out to the Latino community.
Yes.
And I said, just like Tupac
100%.
said, right? It wouldn't be LA without Mexicans.
Yep.
And actually, Alexis Ohanian, the owner, he reacted to that and he said, "You're so right." And I've seen them do the outreach, right?
Yeah.
They've reached out to us. They've reached out to you, I think, right? And they're
Through Dogleg,
getting
yeah.
out into the community. So I really
Yeah.
love that about them.
That's so dope. That makes me even more excited. Because once again, shout out Dogleg. Dogleg's always kind of had our back in the sense of like inviting us to different events and things like that. And they were just like, "Hey, we're doing our usual yearly Beer Augusta, but this year LA Golf Club's going to be there. We want you to be a part of it." And I really want to give a big shout out to the people outside of the raza. You know, we have our champions of other ethnicities helping out,
Allies.
allies to get more Latinos into golf. So big shout out to Dogleg for that. And yeah, I'm really excited now because I saw them on IG, but I was like, what is this? I don't really know. And I saw that you went to the event over at SoFi. I've seen Camila post about it.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool because, like you said, they're reaching out to the community and they're touching, you know, all the different spaces to make sure that they're really representing LA. So that's really dope. Luis, how about you, man? Are you, have you interacted with LA Golf Club at all, or?
Well, as I was saying earlier, hanging out with the connector over here during the Genesis, that was one of the meetings. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we got to go meet with LA Golf."
Yeah.
So I met them, really cool guys. And just to Nelson's point, man, I think it's awesome to come in and do something in LA and involve the community. LA is Mexican, LA is Latino. Same way as if you go to Atlanta, a place where I grew up, Atlanta's black.
Yeah.
Right? It's black and white out there, not much of the Latino, but like where you go to represent, you have to represent the culture that's around you. And I think that's a big move and a smart move and like a super powerful move for LA Golf to like recognize that.
Yeah.
And like, you know, again, more collaboration, less competition.
Yeah.
It's going to grow the game, not only golf, but like just our futures, you know? So I'm a big supporter. Like I said, they were super cool, and I'm really just excited to see Tacos at the Turn at more LA golf events.
That'd be sick.
I love that local like access to like larger events. Like, don't go and get the caterer that's like worth this and doing all. Get the local guys who are involved in not only like the food part, but like the golf part.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Put them there and
Heck
put those people up. And I think LA Golf is doing a cool thing.
Yeah, they are.
That's such a great point too, because so you were talking about, hey, it's not LA if you don't have the raza out there, right? You gotta reach out to the Mexicans, the Latinos. But you make a great point that if you're gonna cater an event, reach out to the mom and pops. And I think that's one of the biggest things about LA and why I love LA so much is because the food culture in LA is so homegrown. Like, I would much rather go to a stand off the side of the street or like some little mom and pop like hole in the wall, because that food is probably going to be way more amazing than what I'm going to find in some ritzy restaurant. No shade on them, but it's just like, hey,
It's true though.
it's homegrown. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great call out, bro. I love that. That's definitely LA right there.
And as somebody who is like Latino and grown up into the mix of like the crazy life of like, you know, being included, not being included, to see somebody with that much power like a LA Golf do that type of collaboration for me makes me want to fuck with LA Golf more.
Yeah.
It really does. It's like, that's the whole thing. Enough of the gatekeeping, enough of like the excluding, like they're pulling up and doing it right. And like, now I want a shirt. I want a red.
Yeah.
It's like,
LA Golf. I need a shirt, bro.
Please.
Let me connect you.
The connector. Let's connect. Yeah.
I think we got a new name for
Yeah.
this.
The connector.
Yeah. Hey, I'm from San Diego,
That
but all
sounds
my
like a
teams are in
villain,
LA, so I'll rock LA Golf Club any day. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just little things like that. That's
Yeah.
how you win myself over, let's say, but
Yeah.
it multiplies to hundreds and thousands of people. Like, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Show a little bit of love. It's going to go so long.
Yep. 1,000%. Oh man, this has been a freaking amazing conversation, guys, and I'm really enjoying it. Brian is over there. He's about to get the simulator ready for us. So I got one more question for you guys, and then we're gonna wind this up, and
All
then
right.
you guys get all jealous because we're about to hit this bad boy up. Spotify listeners are probably even worse off because they can't see what I'm pointing at. But yeah, we're talking about the Masters coming up. If you guys listen to episode 2, the homie Omar had a hot take and saying Tiger doesn't make the cut. So I'm going to bring that out here. All episodes leading up to the Masters are going to be, guys, what do you think? Does Tiger make the cut at Augusta? Luis,
Wow.
I'll start with you.
You know, we saw Tiger recently. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
Front row.
Front row.
Okay.
I mean,
Low key flex.
right. There was no one behind me or Nelson. It was who was in front of us was Tiger. Does Tiger make the cut? You know what? I have to say, I think he will. I think
He makes the cut?
I think he makes it. I think if
Top 3, top 10, winner?
We'll say if he's healed up enough from the Riviera to now, I think there's a potential that he could be on the lower end of things, but I could see him making the cut. Look, this is my saying about nice ball. Everyone's got a nice ball in them, right?
Ooh,
Just like
yeah.
Tiger. Regardless of 2000 Tiger versus 2024 Tiger,
Yeah.
if he just has a day on Friday, dude, that's all it takes. Just have a day.
And Tiger's that guy.
Yeah.
Tiger can have a
So
day.
that's interesting. Everybody does have a nice ball in them. Tiger has way more than that. He can go
got a
off
nice-
and win a tournament.
Yeah, he's got a nice day
Yeah.
or 2 days in him, and that's all it's going to take. He can be limping and not, but dude, if he locks in, it's over.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think, Nelson?
Well, since he said he's going to make the cut, I'm going to go the opposite way. Hey, I wish that he would make the cut and competes and maybe even win another tournament, right? A major.
Yeah,
But from what I've seen lately, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
right.
So I'm going to go with he's going to miss the cut.
Okay. So
Sorry to disappoint you.
it's okay. Hey, that we need to have parity, right? We need to figure out.
I'm not gonna lie. If you said he was gonna make the cut, I was gonna say he doesn't. So
He's gonna change his answer real
balance
quick.
is everything.
So then Nelson, I'm gonna go off of your question. So another thing that the homie Omar had mentioned on there is maybe it's time for Tiger to hit the Champions Tour. You think it's time to him hit the old man's tour?
No, I don't think he should go to Champions. And I think he said he won't. Like, it's kind of like beneath him. Like, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Right. He's already like arguably the GOAT. You know, depending who you talk to,
Yeah.
he doesn't need to do that.
He's gonna hit Champions Tour when Justin Thomas hits Champions Tour. When
He needs to get old enough.
When Jordan Spieth, when all those guys hit Champions Tour, Tiger would be like, "Oh, okay, I'll join." But by then, Tiger's gonna be like, "Are you sure, dude?"
Yeah. Awesome. Well, right on, guys. Thank you for those answers, and thank you guys so much for the time. Once again, big shout out to Uneekor, Brian, for having us here in this amazing space. This has been such a fun
Yeah.
episode, as
Sure.
all episodes are, but that's the growth process, right? We're going to continue to get better, continue to have more fun out here. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for being on here. Any last words for the people before we sign off?
No, just thanks for having us. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us. Shout out Los Colferos. Shout out Tacos at the Turn. Shout out Uneekor. Shout out Buena Gente.
Buena gente.
And
Yep.
shout out just golf in general. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. We're going to get John on here. John and I, we've been messaging. We got to get him on here. And it's awesome that you're partnering with him now because we'll get you on that episode too. So, as we do with all episodes, salud, golferos.
Salud.
Salud.